Hi everyone. So today what we'll be discussing on the topic Lucas theorem, right? Lucas theorem algorithm basically. Let's see what the definition part says here so that we can move on with the algorithm explanation. First, let's get into the definition part. So Lucas theorem, what it does, it helps compute the NCR. It helps compute the NCR mod P where P is prime. Yeah, Lucas theorem helps compute the NCR mod P where P is prime by breaking n and r into the base p digits. By breaking n and r into the base p digits. Yep. So this is fine, I believe. Next, let's move on with the next sentence thing. But the result is the product of smaller combination of the corresponding digits mod. Yep. The result is the product of smaller combination of corresponding digits. Corresponding digits. This part is very important. Mod p. Right. So let me read this one again loud. Just remember. Just try to listen to this carefully. Lucas theorem helps compute NCR. Right. NCR. So this is related to the combinatorial structure actually sorry mod p where p is prime by breaking n and r into the base p digits. By breaking n and r into the base p digits, this part is very important. The result is the product of smaller combinations of corresponding digits mod p. Yep. So now let's move on with the algorithm explanation. First thing, it works only when p is prime. So p, whatever the p we consider actually, that has to be prime. So we have to go with any good prime number actually. Yep. So we have to convert n and r into the base p representation. So accordingly with the definition, so see here NCR mod p where p is prime by breaking n and r into the base p digits, right? So we have to convert n and r into the base p representation. For each digit position, we have to take the digits ni from n and ri from r, right? For each digit position, all we have to do is we have to take the digits ni from n and ri from r. Suppose if ri is greater than ni, then the result will be equivalent to the 0. Else we have to multiply c of this one. What do we call? Combination of ni comma ri mod p. So we will be going with the mod p where p is the prime number, right? Final answer is the product of all digit wise combinations mod p. All digit wise combinations mod p, right? So this is it for the algorithm. So if you understood, don't worry if you haven't understood entire thing. So we will be articulating the same thing in the form of code, and we will dry run the code by considering the example that we have taken in the that we will take in the future. That we will take in within the code actually. So not to worry currently. So now, so this is the example that we'll be going with actually. N equals 5, r equals to 2, and p equals to 3. P we have considered 3 because p has to be prime at any cost, right? See here. So it works only when P is prime, right? Lucas theorem works only when P is prime, right? So they have strictly mentioned here, Lucas theorem helps compute NCR mod P where P is prime by breaking n and r into the base P digits. So P has to be prime. So P we have considered 3. P we have considered 3. N and R, I have went with a simple one. I have went with a simple one, right? 5 and 2. 5 and 2. So expected result is we have to go with a 5C2, right? 5C2 NCR. So nothing but 5C2 10. So we will be going with a 10 mod 3 that has to lead to the output 1, right? So the output that we need to get here is 1, right? So we have already, we know already what is the example that we need to consider. So this is fine. So all we have to do is we have to articulate the same thing in the form of code, whatever we have discussed in the form of algo. So let's do that actually. It's simple, man. First, what we will do, so let's go with the NCR mod P, this one method actually. First, let me come here within the main. What I'll do, I'll just go with a static long. Let me go with the NCR mod P. So I need three parameters, N, R, as well as the we need P, right? So this one will be N, R, as well as the let me go with the, so this for the prime actually we will be going with a small number, so I'll just go with the int. So this is more than that. We don't have to go with the long. Int is enough actually. Yep. Within the NCR mod P, this one method, we need to write the function to compute NCR modulo P for small n and R. Nothing but n less than P. See, let's write the simple if condition, man, here. So this one will be if R is greater than n, all we have to do is we have to return 0. We have to return 0. If R is greater than n, combination, in that case, combination is invalid. Yep, if r is greater than n, then the combination is invalid, right? So therefore we return 0. R shouldn't be greater than n. So if r is greater than n, then the combination is invalid. We have to return 0. Now we have to go with a variable to store the NCR result. We have to store the NCR result somewhere. We have to go with a resulting variable, right? Answer, result, anything, right? So I'll just go with a, let me go with a long result here. Let me initialize this one with a 1 because we need to store the combination. So we need to store the NCR result, sorry. Now let's go with the for loop. For loop, we are running the loop r time. We have to run the loop r times actually. So I'll just write it on this one. Int I equals 1. So I less than or equal to r I plus plus. Yep. So within the for loop, first thing, we have to compute the NCR using the multiplicative formula. Yeah, that avoids the factorial overflow. So we have already considered, we already know this one actually. Result equals result into n minus r plus I by I. So I can just write it in this way. See, just listen to this carefully. This one has to be result into uh, n minus r plus I, this one, yeah, by I, by I. So this is fine. Finally, what we have to do, we have to return the result modulo p. For that, let me go with return result, this one, modulo p, right? Modulo p. So this is it for the code. Let me format the code once. Yeah, let me format the code once. So now let's move on with the further things. So we will be going with this one, Lucas theorem. We will be applying the Lucas theorem here within the Lucas method. So I'll just go with a static here, long. Let me go with the Lucas. Within the Lucas, I need 3 parameters again, the same thing, n, r as well as the p. Let me copy the same thing, So let me paste it over here, right? So this is fine. So within the Lucas method, first thing we have to store the final answer. We need the resulting variable. So again, instead of result, I just go with the answer. Let me initialize this one with the 1. So next we have to process the digits until both n and r becomes 0, right? N and r becomes 0. So while, so I can just write in this way, n greater than 0 and r greater than 0. Yep, so this is simple. Now, within the while condition, the first thing we have to extract the last base p digit of n, and also we have to extract the last base p digit of r. See, long ni equals n modulo p. So this is one thing, and long this one ri. So this is nothing equals r modulo p. Yep, so this is fine. Now, if any digit Ri is greater than Ni, then result is 0, nothing but invalid. R shouldn't be greater than N. Then the combination will be invalid. In that case, we have to return 0. So similar to the this one, the same thing we have written within the NCR mod P. This one, somewhere I had written the same thing, right? Didn't I? No. Okay. 1 second. Oh, this one. This step actually. Let me copy the same thing. All I have to do is I have to mention I here for the both actually. Yeah, Ri greater than Ni, then we have to return 0. Yep, so this is fine. Next, we have to go with the same thing here, answer somewhere, result we have considered, right? So we went with the for loop and we have done this. Yep. So now we have to multiply the digit wise NCR result modulo P. So for that one, how can I write similar to the this one previous one? I'll just go with answer equals answer into NCR mod P method that we have already written. I'll just make use of that particular method here. I'll just go with Ni Ri as well as the P. These are the variables that we have made use of. Modulo P, right? Modulo P. So we are multiplying the digit wise NCR result modulo P. It's as simple as that. Now we have to remove last base P digit of N, and we have to remove the last base P digits of R. These two things we have to do, nothing but N equals N by P, R equals R by P, right? So N equals N by P, R equals R by P. So it's as simple as that. Now let me come out of this one entirely. Now let me return the answer. Let me return the answer. So this is it for the code. This is it for the code. Yep. So this is fine. We are done with the coding part. So this is it for the algorithm. So we have followed this one step by step. If RA greater than this one result 0, this we know. Become because combination becomes invalid if R is greater than N. Yeah, we know this one. Finally, we have to multiply. Else we have to multiply C of Ni comma Ri mod P that we have done here. The same thing. It's the same exact thing that we have done here, right? So after this, final answer is the product of all the digit-wise combinations mod P, right? N equals N by P. This is necessary actually. We are just removing the last base P digit of N and we are removing the last base P digit of R. So this is fine, I believe. It's as simple as that. So we need to have the knowledge on NCR mod P, what we are writing within this method, what we are writing. So here we are extremely, we are going with a this one Lucas theorem intensely. So uh, this itself, whatever we have discussed from here. Yep, for each digit position actually, right? So this this is fine. So this itself, we have applied this one Lucas theorem here. Yep. So this is fine, I believe. Now, within the main method, let's go with a simple example, man. Yeah. So let's go with a simple example. So I'll just go with n. So we have already considered the example we know, and r equals 2. So this is also fine. This one I'm speaking of. N equals 5, r equals to 2, and p equals to 3. Yeah. P uh, P equals 3. We have considered int for the P, right? P equals 3, right? So this is the example value of N. This is the example value of R, and this is the example value of, this is nothing but the prime modulus. Yep. Prime modulus, it has to be prime. I have considered the smallest number here, smallest prime, right? So 2 is the smallest prime. After that, I have considered 3. That's it. Anyways, 2 is the only this thing, right? What do we call? Even prime. So I have considered 3. Right? So this is fine. Now let's call the Lucas theorem function and print the result. Yeah. So as we are making use of the print writer, we can just go with a out.println instead of system.println. So I'll just go with a out.println here. So let me pass the Lucas method here. So all I'll do is I'll pass n r as well as the p, n r as well as the p. Now we are done with this part. We have called the Lucas theorem function and we are printing the result. Finally, we have to flush the output buffer as we are making use of the this one print writer. So I'll just go with the out.flush. Out.flush. It's as simple as that. So this is just the example part. Yep, we are considering the example and we're printing the output. That's it. Yep, within the main method. So this is the algorithm actually. Algorithm ends here. These two part. So we went with the exact same thing that we have considered within the algorithm explanation. So do we have any typo or the any errors actually? No, right? Do not have any typos or errors. Yeah. So before running the code, let's do one thing. Let's dry run the code by considering the same example that we have considered within the main method so that we get to know whether the code that we have written or whether the algorithm that we have written works correctly or not. And we'll get to know about the output for the example that we have considered. Yep. So these two things we get to know. Let's dry run the code. So yeah, let's dry run the code with the same example that we have considered within the code. Actually, n we have went with a 5 and r we have considered 2 and this one p we have considered 3, smallest prime, one of the smallest primes. Yep. So this is fine. Now accordingly with the step 1, the code that we have written actually. So we will be going with n modulo 3 that is equivalent to 2, right? N modulo 3 that is equivalent to 2 because 5 modulo 3 remainder will be 2. Yep. So next we will be going with the r modulo 3 nothing but the 2, r modulo 3 nothing but the 2 here, right? So now we will be going with actually. So we have to make the this one mod value, right? So this is fine. We have to make use of. So this is fine. We will be going with a c of 2 comma 2 that is equivalent to 1. C of 2 comma 2 that is equivalent to 1. So answer initially for the step 1 we got 1 here. We got 1 here. Next let's move on with the next step, nothing but step 2. Nothing but step 2 here. Step 2, what we are doing, n we are going with a 1, n we are going with a 1, r we are going with a 0, r we are going with a 0, and c of 1 comma 0, c of 1 comma 0. So this one is equivalent to 1. This one is equivalent to 1. So answer again becomes 1. So answer again becomes 1. Next, let's move on with the step 3 actually. Step 3, now we have answer 1 and 1 respectively for the step 1 and step 2. So now we have n0. Now we have n0. Now we have n0 as well as this one. R also we have 0. Yep. So n and r, when n and r are 0, we have to stop actually according to the code that we have written. When n and r are 0, so we have to stop at that case. So the final output that we have got, the previous output that we have got within the answer variable. So this one is 1. So we will return the same. So the final answer is nothing but 1. Yeah. Final answer is nothing but 1 here in this case. Yep. So this is the output that we have got. This is the output that we have got. So accordingly with the code, what happened here? 1 second. So this was not showing until now. So I can just pause the video and have a look into it, man. So again, we have considered n equals 5, r equals 2, and p equals 3 as per the example within the code. Right. Step 1. So we'll be going with n modulo 3, r modulo 3, nothing but the 2, and this one combination of 2 comma 2 we are considering here. Right. So this will be equivalent to 1. First answer equals 1. Then we'll be going with the step 2. So here also n becomes 1 and r becomes 0. We will stop when n and r both become 0, right? So C of 1 comma 0, this would lead to 1. So again, answer would lead to 1 itself. Now step, we have got n and r as 0. So we will stop here. As we have got n and r 0, we will stop here, right? So we will be stopping here. This part, we will stop. Yeah, final answer that we have got here, this one. From the previous step, answer equals 1. So this one will return this one as output. The final answer is 1. So this is the output that we have got. I don't know why it was not showing actually. Maybe the app crashed actually. I don't know. Maybe. Yep. So this is fine. So we are done with the output. So this is the output that we are done with the dry run. Actually, this is the output that we need to get. This is the output that we need to get. Yep. So this is fine. We are done with the dry run. We are done with the dry run. Right. So now let's do one thing. Let's run the code that we have written. So I'll just come here. Let me run the code. I'll just come here. Yeah. So let me run the code. So let's wait for some time. So you can clearly see the output that we are getting here is 1. So which is absolutely correct. So we had just try run the code. So we have got the same output. Accordingly with the code that we have written, we had try run the code, right? So by considering the same example that we have considered within the main method, right? So we have got the absolute desired output. We have discussed the coding part. We have tried run the code as well. So now we are left with only one thing, nothing but discussing the complexities part for the code that we have written. So what would be the time complexity and the space complexity? See, the time complexity would lead to this one login. You would have already guessed. So the time complexity would lead to big of login. The only difference is it depends on the this one. What do we call p that we have considered? Nothing but the prime value that we are going with, right? So I'll just mention p here. It depends on big of login to the base p actually. Big of login to the base p. Yep. So this is fine. What would be the space complexity here? Space complexity would lead to big of 1. Yeah. The time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we have written would lead to big of logarithmic and big of login to the base p and big of 1 respectively. So this is the time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we have written. So this is it for the Lucas theorem, man. Yeah. It's simple. It's simple. Now, next what we are going to discuss. Next, we are left with only few algorithms in the number theory. 3 or 4 algorithms we are left with actually. Okay. Next, what we'll be doing, we will be discussing the Catalan numbers theorem. So Catalan numbers you will be knowing. So if you have solved good amount of the problems on the number theory, completely based on the number theory, definitely you will be knowing on this one Catalan numbers, right? So if you don't know, it's good actually. It's fine, no worries. So we'll be discussing on the same, right, tomorrow. So for now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.